Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever episode of the VAR Room. In today's episode, we will be talking through our Champions League winner prediction. Each of us going through who, how, why. Let's start off. Champions League winner predictions. We've got PSG versus Liverpool. We've got Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. Barcelona versus Atletico in a La Liga derby. And Sporting Lisbon versus Arsenal. Who wants to kick us off? So, Champions League winner prediction. Who wants to start us off?
All right, I'll start us off. All right, I'm an Arsenal fan, as you heard, so I'm going to pick us over Sporting, but I feel like most people would. Sporting aren't terrible, but, you know, we're one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. I think I can say that fairly. You can have your...
We're just going to get VAR to check that one.
Starting a VAR.
I think he's going to make the call.
That's crazy.
And they're unfortunately deciding it's onside.
Yeah.
That is a very valid statement.
Okay,
Arsenal are probably one of, if not the best team in Europe at the moment.
Yes, thank you. All right, Barca Atleti, I think that'll be close, but I'm going to edge out Barca there. Real Madrid Bayern, that's a Champions League final in itself, but I think Bayern are in like crazy form at the moment, so I'm going to go with them. And then PSG Liverpool, sorry to do it, Rubes. PSG also in pretty decent form.
He's Mark.
Mark, aka Rubes. I think PSG are going to edge it out. They are also in form. And then between Arsenal Barca, still going to pick Arsenal. I think it'll be a close game, but I think we'll win that one out. And then Bayern PSG, that's a tough one, but I'm going to go with Bayern as well.
You think you're beating Barcelona?
I think we will beat Barcelona. I reckon we'll make the Champions League final, and dare I say, I think we will beat Bayern in the Champions League final. I think we are going all the way in the Champions League. You got to have hope. All right? But
this isn't a conversation.
No, I get that.
We're gonna VAR check that again.
I think he's going to make the call.
Okay, that's fair.
No,
You don't think Arsenal are going to win the Champions League? That's your opinion.
But my point isn't
I get no hope, but I think we can. Like, I think we have the ability. Like you said, we are one of, if not the best team in Europe.
But I'm not saying if you can or anyone can. Liverpool can win the Champions League.
Sporting can win it.
Yeah, Sporting can win it. But we're not talking about who can win it. We're saying who's gonna win it.
Yeah, well, I still think Arsenal are gonna win it.
I don't see any.
Like you said, one of, if not the best team in Europe, should be winning the Champions League. No.
Should be.
Yeah, and I think they will.
They haven't been able to win anything yet.
Yeah,
and
we'll see in
in 8 hours if they're able to win anything. But we're saying that they lose to City tonight. They lose the League Cup final.
You think that? We'll get into that later. Okay. Who's next with their predictions?
Take it.
I'll go next. I'm going to state the winner who I think is going to win first, and then I'll go through each fixture. If we're going winner's sake, Kaladin said it best, Bayern are in crazy form, and I think Bayern are going to close this one out and win the Champions League this season. Oh yeah, round of 16, they fucking tore. Who hit the first in round of 16?
Atlanta.
Yeah, they
10-2.
Finished them. Michael Elise's top form.
Top form.
Even Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz. Don't get me started on that. I think both of them are over 30 plus goals and assists this season alone. Yeah. So
and then Kane up front.
It's actually Harry Kane up
front threes. Yeah.
Forgot about Harry Kane. Forgot about the man who just got 50 goals this season so far.
I think Bayern's gonna close that one out and win Champions League this season. If we're going through each fixture, I'm gonna go Arsenal over Sporting. Sporting are going great, but I don't think they're gonna close it out and beat Arsenal. Atletico, I'm gonna go Barca on that one as well. I think we're gonna want our revenge on this leg. So them coming back to Anfield, us going to Parc des Princes, I think that if we're gonna try and have some sort of hope and survival for the rest of this season, it's gonna be in the Champions League, if not the FA Cup. But Slot's lost it completely for the league, so Champions League is definitely by far his best bet, especially if we're battling for 4th and 5th at the moment. And then obviously because I believe that Bayern's going to win the Champions League, they'll beat Real Madrid as well. And then from there we Bayern over Liverpool, Barca over Arsenal, and then Bayern will be Barca in the final.
Liverpool over PSG is a huge call. That's a big call.
We're a Champions League team, so anytime we're in Champions League, I always have
more belief on that than... Yeah, I think Arsenal have too many fingers in too many pies at the moment, so aren't able to...
And they just need to get over the line over one thing.
Who do you have in the FA Cup?
City.
I think looking at the Champions League teams remaining, we're probably looking at 7 of the best 8 teams in Europe if you look on paper, to be honest. If you put City instead of Sporting, I'd be saying that's probably the 8 strongest teams in Europe. Period at the moment. Maybe an Inter Milan gets in there over Liverpool just on Liverpool's form this season, but they did win the Premier League last season. So I think this Champions League is actually very, very entertaining. If I was to go into individual games, Arsenal do beat Sporting. Sporting were very underconvincing in Bordeaux. They were very convincing at home, but I don't see a world where they don't lose. To be honest, in the tie, I'm saying it's a 6-2 to Arsenal over the tie. Barcelona and Atletico. Atletico did beat Barca in the Copa del Rey semi-finals very recently. Beat them 4-0 in the second leg. Because the Wanda Metropolitana has an interesting texture to the ground. As you saw, Antonin Kinski slipped a few times. So did Joan Garcia for Barcelona. All I'm saying, bro, 2 keepers slipping in 2 consecutive games, multiple times. I'm putting the controversy out there. They oil up that fucking field. They oil up that field.
Wouldn't that affect them as well?
No, they know. So they have different boots. They know.
He's gone to
so they have
real
different
big
boots.
Conspiracy theories
The
here.
ref is going to have to be involved in this as well then.
I agree.
Because he's not checking their boots.
I agree. No, they're not using illegal
think we
boots.
have
I don't think they're using illegal boots.
Check.
I think the boots are legal.
Yeah.
The boots are legal boots.
The spikes?
Yeah, but the spikes are different.
What,
They're
they coated with something?
Yeah,
Okay,
something
VAR
like
check.
that.
Good to me, I think is going to make the call that it is a spot kick, and Melbourne City.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
offside.
It's true. It's freaking true.
Extremely off.
Way off. 2 games in a row. Anyway, I don't think that happens again. I think Barcelona are witted onto it this time. We battered Atletico in the second leg. Atletico were not a good team in both legs. I know they beat us 5-2, but we were holding on to that leg. A fair result is probably 2-2 in that game. Maybe 3-2 towards Atletico in the first leg, but I think individual errors took it to that, and they were not that good in the second leg. I'm saying Barcelona absolutely smashed them in that first leg. Atletico don't come back like they did last time. PSG, Liverpool. PSG aren't doing that amazing in Ligue 1. They're second, I think. They're not even
But
first.
they got games in hand, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're 3 points behind Lens, and
Like
but
2 games behind.
Lens are actually being asked to postpone their game against PSG to give PSG 3 days extra rest against Liverpool, and I think that will be a differentiating factor for PSG to go through. And I think that's what the French teams do. They want the extra Champions League place.
So have Ligue 1 put that in place, or have PSG?
They haven't actually
for that?
officially put it in place. I actually don't know, to be honest, but I saw a report that Len are actually considering allowing that to be the case.
Wow, why would they? It helps
Because it benefits Ligue 1.
Yeah, it benefits
because
the league.
PSG going further in the comp means they have a higher chance of getting more Champions League places. And it also, which it's crazy because Len are the title challengers against PSG. So you argue you want them to title. But if their fixture gets changed to one where they're more tight, because Len are currently playing before Liverpool PSG. If it gets changed to after Liverpool PSG, the PSG players are more likely to be tied.
Yeah.
So
That is true.
I'm going PSG for that, and Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. I think it'll be a freaking great tie. I predicted this. I actually predicted Bayern versus Manchester City in the previous video. If you want to look at my UCL predictions, where you spoil yourself for exactly what I'm about to say in the next couple seconds. But Bayern Munich beat Real Madrid. They're going to beat PSG. It's a replay of the 2020 Champions League final. On the other end, it's Barcelona versus Arsenal, replay of 2006, and the same result happened in both. Bayern go through, Barcelona go through, because I think Arsenal, again, too many fingers and too many pies, they're going to win the league. I think I've accepted that. It's a painful acceptance, but I've accepted that they are going to win the league.
Get my hope up. No.
They've won the league.
No, I don't care. It's not over till the fat lady sings. All right, that's what they say.
Too much for more. Fair.
To be fair, if City win their game in hand and then beat you, they're only 3 points behind you.
Exactly. Like
So,
that can happen.
You're right, but Arsenal have won the league. So by that point, I think they'll still be in the FA Cup, and I think they will go in the FA Cup till the semi-final final. But I don't think they're going to do it in the Champions League. Barca Bayern final, replay of the 2014-15 semi-final, and it's Harry Kane's world, and we're just living in it. Luis Diaz, Elise, Kane as a front three is unbeatable. Don't know if Musiala's back by then, but if you have Musiala behind that front three, like, how is that not the best team in Europe? Reading those names,
Definitely
it just is. Yeah, I think Arsenal actually have a better defense than Bayern, but Bayern's attack are just it's incomparable to any other team in Europe.
Yeah.
So I think Bayern go on, they win the Champions League. I think It'll be the 7th Champions League.
Yep.
Yeah.
7.
That's been the first episode of the VAR Room. Thank you for joining. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want to see next. We'll keep talking about the controversial topics. Bring it all to us. We will do it, and there'll be plenty more VAR checks.